I'm doing another guest design for Newton's Nook.
Hello everyone, my name is Brennan and welcome to Brennan's Crafty Corner.
Hello everyone, my name is Brennan and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited to be doing another guest design for Newton's Nook's Designs. This was the first company I ever designed for, so it holds a very special place in my heart and I'm so happy to be back, especially because there's new flower stamps. And make sure to come back next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I've changed my posting date to Sunday, just in case you're wondering why it's Sunday. So yeah, from now on, Sunday. Anyways, make sure to come back because I will be doing another guest design then. Just a little quick note, all the Newton's Nooks stamps you see in this video were sent to me free of charge, because this is a guest design. Okay, anyways, let's get into the video.
So today I am so excited to use one of the newest florals from Newton's Nook Designs because we all know how much I love florals. And I'm going to be using the Cherry Blossoms die set. Well, I will be using the coordinating die sets, but I'm using the stamp set. So what we're going to do first is stamp out this big cherry blossom in white embossing powder. We're going to do one here, one here. This is watercolor cardstock. I'm on a little bit of a watercoloring kick right now, so I want to do some watercoloring with these. So make sure to get these stamped out, and we will get started. So as you can see now, I heat embossed the two cherry blossom flowers, and please do not come for me. But we're going to be doing them in purple. I know cherry blossoms are pink, but I thought it would be really cool if they were purple for this. So all we're going to do, and this is a Caron brush marker in the color Neon Violet, all we're going to do is we're going to take a little water from a water pen. We're going to go into each flower, like so, and then we're just going to go around the center of the flower, and that ink from the marker is going to spread out. And we can drag it out a little. And we're just going to keep doing this for all of our flowers. Now you might be like, hey, Brennan, how are we going to do the stems? Honestly, we're going to go in with one Copic marker and do the stems. And I'll also do a Copic for the leaves because oops, that was almost the wrong thing. I'm just not exactly sure how such small areas would turn out with markers. And, well, I mean, it would look good still. It would look great. But the only issue is I do not have a brown Caron marker. Ah, okay, perfect. This is more what I was going for. The first one didn't have quite enough ink in it. Or, excuse me, quite enough water, and that's fine. It still looks good. But this is more the effect I was going for. And doesn't that look so cool? I know this is not traditional cherry blossom color, but I still really, really like it. And also, I totally forget if I mentioned this already. I may have, because I was thinking of it right before I started recording. But make sure when you stamp on watercolor cardstock, even if you're doing embossing like I did, I would always suggest to stamp on the side that's flat if there is one that's flat, or if there's a side that's raised. If there's both, always stamp on the flat side because you'll just get a cleaner impression because the ink doesn't have to go in dips and divots and on little mountain areas. So it's just easier for the ink to get on there. So we are just going to keep doing this for all of our flowers. And I'll do one more as an example, and then you will see all the flowers done in 1 second. But I love how this is coming out so far. And I like when they have a varied look. I don't like them to be all exactly the same because no flower looks exactly the same in coloration. So this one's going to look different than this one, and that one's going to look different from that one. They're all going to look a little different from each other, and that's perfect because nature is imperfect. And our little last flower here. Okay, see you when they're all done. Okay, so with all my flowers colored watercolored, no, it's still watercoloring. It's just not the traditional form of watercoloring. We're going to go in with some brown Copic markers. We're going to do E18 and E15 for the stems because cherry blossoms typically have brown stems. This is the one thing we are sticking true to. However, okay, that's fine. I had never colored with Copic markers before on watercolor paper, and I think it'll be fine. You know what? I'm changing my mind. We're just going to do E18 because the one issue we're going to run into is we're going to go onto the white by mistake, and the Copic markers are going to stain it. And honestly, did not think of that beforehand, but we're going to be fine. We will survive. No, I'm not going to sing. I won't sing. I'm not going to harp. I'm not going to terrorize you all today. I promise. Yeah, just be careful. And I'm going to try. I know it's blocking your views. That's why I was trying not to do it. But it's the best thing. If I go straight down, only the tip will really get in there. And that should hopefully avoid most staining. Because we don't want those white lines to be covered. Yeah, it's mostly working. This would be perfect if you had a brown watercolor brush or watercolor marker, but I unfortunately do not. So we are just going to keep doing this for all of our flowers, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I did all of my Copic coloring. Actually, this is actually Copic coloring because I did color with Copics. So I have that all down on here, and now we're gonna start making our background. So we're going to be using the Serene Stripes stencil from Newton's Nook, of course. And what I'm first gonna do is I'm just gonna put down some residual blue-green ink onto my piece of paper. And you guys can't even see that yet because it is so light. So I might need more than just residual ink. Well, maybe not. I think I do. Okay, got my all that jazz ink out, and we're just gonna do a little because we don't want this to be too dark. We're gonna put a little on and then brush some off, or tap it off more like. There we go, that's more like it. Now we can actually see the ink. We want it to still be subtle, so we don't want to go too dark. That's why whenever I tap into it, we're going to tap off a little too. That way we prevent it from getting way too dark. Now, honestly, that's probably enough ink. We're just going to blend outwards now. And we want this to be, as I already said, subtle. We want it to probably take about half of the page. I can see it in real life much better than you can on camera. It goes down to about here visible, but on camera it's like to about here visible. But that's okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to dip back into our all that jazz. We're going to put our stencil on. Should I tape this? Probably. Am I going to? Actually, yeah, I should. Okay, now we have a sticky mat holding it down. So we're still going to tap off our ink that we swiped on. And now we're just going to go over everything we did once more. But now that we're doing it through a stencil, only selected areas will be slightly darker, which means we're going to get a really nice pattern when we lift this up. So we're just going to keep doing this for a little while longer. And bam! Isn't that cool? It almost, oh, we went out of focus there for a second. Sorry. It almost has a cool curved effect, like it's curving away. But I really like how this came out. And I think I might just do a little bit more ink blending on this side because I feel like it's not as dark as I want it to be right here. So we're just going to go up here and everything, both the the stripes and the background area will darken because it's the same color. So luckily they'll darken at the same rate. I'm just going to add a little bit more ink over here. And there we go. There is our background. Okay, so we have our two cherry blossom branches now cut out, which I use the coordinating die for. I personally own a Brother Scanning Cut, but for stuff like this, you can't use it, so this is why I still get them, to be honest. So now, what we're going to do is we are going to do what I'm going to call the twist and tuck, maybe? I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pieces, we're going to twist it, and we're going to tuck them. Then what would be the end of the branch almost just looks like a continuation holding them together, and we're going to lay our two flowers along the card. And I'm probably going to bend this slightly more like that, or I don't know, maybe like, I'm not sure actually. But what I do know is that I want it to be hidden. Those are the ends. And our other ends are going to hang off, so you won't even notice them. I'm probably going to do it something like that. So I will glue this down, and then we'll be right back. Okay, glued that down, and what I'm really hoping I don't regret is doing the sentiment after. So we're going to first, if I can find a pair of scissors, here's one. we are going to trim off our excess floral that's hanging off the card. Now, if you wanted to, you could totally keep that, and that could look really, really cool. But for me personally, I don't want to. So now we have trimmed that off. We're gonna push this all off to the side and toss it. And now what I'm going to do, I was debating in my head, do I do it on a Misty or do I just acrylic block it? But I think you should do it on a Misty so there are no incidents or accusations because we don't want to ruin the card. So first, I need to take out the cherry blossom stamp. That might be a little bit helpful. And the perfect place to put a sentiment in here is right here because it like curves in and I think that's where it will look cool. So I'm going to do the enjoy every moment stamp because I feel like this could be like a congratulations card. It's kind of very general. It could be a birthday card. Anniversary card. I could even see being like an anniversary card. Like enjoy every moment. Congrats on 20 years. Something like that. I'm just making sure it's even. We're going to hope. We are hoping here. Okay, that looks even. But it's. Does anyone else feel like their eyes play tricks on them when trying to align sentiments? Because I have 20/20 vision. But when it comes to this, no, I don't. It's like, is it actually straight? Who knows? Anyways, now in some VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink, I'm just gonna ink up this stamp. Ink, 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 ink. Okay. And now we are going to make sure that's in our corner and we're gonna press and hope. There we go. Bam! Bam, bam, bam. There we go. Now there's one more thing left to do, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know what it is. Do you know what I had to do to finish it off? Bam! Add a black border and a card base. I think the card base part was obvious. It's all obvious. I do it all the time. But here is my finished card. I just love how this card came out. I love how the purple works with that bluish green. I just love it. And I love how it's like florals just falling. Just love how this card came out.
I don't know why, but I am on such a watercoloring kick right now. It is just so much fun, and it's really, really simple when you use these markers, and I love how this card came out. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching, and thank you as well to Jen for giving me another opportunity to guest design. Have an amazing rest of your day, and bye! Happy crafting!